Mighty First Father, glorious One Mother, we are deeply honored that you have invited us here.
What's up? What's up? Welcome back to the live stream, the Iyanu holiday live stream, excuse me. This is Inside the Score, the music of Iyanu. I'm Karama Horne, aka the Blurred Girl, also integrated marketing lead over at Lionforge. And I hope everybody's having a good time. Let me see, like in the chat. Let's see those emojis. I'm here to talk with the musicians behind Iyanu. And if you listened to that clip that just played, that beautiful music, yeah, that's not AI. That's actual music playing. That's actual instrumentation. And that is the thing that I definitely want to discuss with everybody. So let's meet this panel. Let's meet the musicians behind Iyanu.
Hi, everyone. My name is Femi Agunbiade. I'm a media composer and lead composer for Iyanu. Excited to be here.
Yes, how you doing, everybody? I'm Kariz Marcel, founder of Blakwater Music and Studios, along with my partner down there, December. But yeah, we are the co-composers of Iyanu. So thank you for being here today.
What's good, everyone? My name is December Moon, one of the composers and business partners over at Blakwater, who helped compose, Iyanu with the team right here.
Peace, y'all. My name is Oladele Kiambu, aka 7G. I'm also part of Blakwater Sound. I'm a recording engineer, music producer, and composer. I'm happy to be here with everybody.
I'm excited. I'm excited because I keep telling everybody, like, this show needs a soundtrack. Like, hit me in the chat. Don't you think that this show needs a soundtrack? Because this music is beautiful.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It's amazing.
So let's talk about, like, question for everybody. Composing for an animated series is a little different. Is this the first time all of you have done this, or do you have experience with live action, or, tell me about your experience working with scoring TV shows.
Who want to lead first?
Femi, go first. Femi, go first.
I've been producing music for over 20 years now. I'm 25. Don't laugh. Yeah, I've been scoring for film and television. Working with brands and things of that nature. I actually worked on an animated short film with YouNeek Studios called Malika Warrior Queen, and that was my first, jump into animation. So being asked to be part of Iyanu has been just life-changing, and there's absolutely nothing like this project. So I'm really blessed to be part of it.
Similar background, 25 as well. But been producing music for, man, I'm trying to remember a time when I wasn't producing music, because I can't think of a time, but pretty much my whole life of producing and arranging. I went to school for recording engineering in New York City some time ago. So I've always had a passion for sound, and it eventually evolved into just producing for some major artists, independent artists, as well as doing some documentary film work and a few brands as well, commercials, nationally syndicated commercials and brands and things like that. So yeah, right now it's just, we're focusing in on Iyanu, and this definitely expanded our approach to doing music. It has been an incredible experience because it just took everything to the next level.
Yeah, likewise. I feel like I started producing mid-2000s. Started on, well, to answer your question, yes, I have scored for TV and film. I did a few films with other, companies, which I won't name, but with other companies and other brands as well. Back when we had Redbox, if y'all remember that, when it was straight to DVD. I did the $5. I used to score. I scored some of those $5 bin movies at Walmart, where you can just pick them up back in the day. But so that started of my introduction into scoring. And then, now we're here on the animation side.
Absolutely.
G.
I would say similar upbringings. I'm 58 right now, by the way. But
It's all the way.
all the way. But
That's okay. I'm 72.
Oh wow.
Black don't crack,
Tell us
Not at
your
all.
secrets.
Absolutely. But similar background. My background is more in music production, expanding out to composing for like indie films back in 2018. So the lessons that I learned from music production, it kind of translated over pretty easily. So it's just crazy to see that now I'm able to be part of something as large as Iyanu.
No, absolutely. And I think a lot of people that work on this show feel that way because, and everyone I've talked to, not just musicians, it's like, it's just so meaningful for them. Let's talk about basically like the workflow for people who don't know, like in the chat, like when do you get a call and then you get an idea or a script and you have to start writing, or when exactly do you start composing, Kariz?
Yeah, well, our role, pretty much, Femi's our guy. We rely on his ear first, but where it comes even before Femi is with Roy, and we do these meetings called spotting sessions where we review the entire episode along with the Iyanu team, producer, Roy, everybody's on the call, and we're going through scene by scene, and Roy's explaining what he wants to feel, what this scene feels like, what's the story, what's happening right here, what's the emotion we're trying to convey sonically. So it starts there. Femi then he gets in and he reviews the entire film, the entire episode, and then says, okay, you guys take this scene, I'll take this scene. You guys can take this scene, I'll take this scene. So we kind of divvy it up. And so our team, of course, we have the studio here. We have a resource with a lot of different musicians and things like that. So we're able to bring in different drums and different live sound effects and things like that, and guitars and strings into the studio environment. So we pretty much, we track everything here, we score it here, then we send it back to Femi, and then he finds a magical way to blend it into everything else that's existing. And the notes are really detailed by the scene, by the frame, and we score it to the frame.
Yeah, it's like a creative ecosystem where we kind of all just bounce off of each other. Everybody kind of knows after the spotting session where we meet with everyone, it kind of just, it's like, okay, Femi, he's the lead, and he just kind of facilitates. But then we all know once it facilitates what sauce each of us can bring. We might have one person working on the drums first, and then somebody might work on the strings, but it all just flows cohesively in harmony through each segment. I think that was the beauty of all of us working together. It's almost like when you've been working or, in the same room with somebody for so long, you kind of form like an intuition of what needs to happen next without even talking. And that's what happened, throughout the season. The more and more we worked with each other, it formed like a synergy between all four of us.
That's awesome. I also am curious because I'm thinking of Roy, because we've heard we heard the voice actors earlier talk about they're so used to getting notes from Roy, and the comic book team, they were like, yep, Roy's meticulous. So I'm very curious as to what's the highest number of rounds of revisions he's ever given you on a song?
Oh man, that's crazy. Well, so to give some context here, at the most, we would have like 2 musical passes for each episode, where we present the music for the episode. Roy and some of the producers take a look at it and provide notes. We go back and make those revisions, and then one more pass. And typically within those 2 passes, we're good. We've had as many as few as 2 notes. and sometimes you can get up to 50 notes. Like, again, Roy is very particular, and not even in a bad way. Like, those notes really, like, sometimes you can get notes back and it's like, I don't understand why this is being asked for. We never had that with this project. It's like, okay, this makes sense, and this is only actually going to make the scene better. And Lionforge has been very good with talking about revisions, because sometimes it's not even just the notes, it's, you know, the episode has changed. You know, some scenes are extended, some scenes are made short, so the music actually has to respond accordingly. So yeah.
That's awesome. I also think that it makes a difference when people pay that much attention, because I don't know if everybody in the chat understands that every single episode of this show is scored. It's not like they're using a music library or there's a bunch of tracks made at the beginning. Like, they're watching it and actually doing the work. In fact, I feel like there is a clip from Age of Wonders that shows this as an example of that watching and working. I'm gonna toss it to the tech crew. Do we have that clip to show? Wow. Like, and I want to make sure that everybody heard all those layers. You heard what he was playing on the keyboard first. And then if you paid attention, when you got to the scene, just as she was getting in the air, you're hearing that same keyboard again. You know, this is baby Iyanu from the Age of Wonders, you know, prequel when she's little. We're first seeing her actually execute her powers. What was the direction they were giving you there? How do you know what instrument to give us the same energy that we're seeing on screen?
I do remember that day, and that's some of the most exciting times, is when we're trying to translate a different era of Iyanu and taking that theme and lightening up the theme, trying to think more like, you know, childhood and things like that. So I remember when going through it and trying to figure out when that butterfly, was that a butterfly?
I think it was a firefly, but you know what? It could have been multiple. Yeah. As they animated it, it could have changed.
Right. Yeah. So just remember, just what that feels like. You know, it's like a hunt. You know, that's some of her first hunt, technically. You know, and it's this innocent hunt of this fly. She's going from, you know, this innocent fly to, like, you know, some real enemies when she gets older. So just knowing that and understanding that story kind of helps us set the framework for the sounds and everything that we choose in that session.
I have to say, like, because I write the themes for these characters, a lot of times when I would say, hey, and I'm divvying up the scenes, and I say, hey, okay, have Iyanu's theme here or whatever, and pass it on to the guys. It's always exciting when they tell me, hey, they're done, because I'm like a fan. Like, what the sauce they put on this thing is always breaks my mind, like what they do. So that scene, I remember watching it and playing back what they had for that scene, and I was just like, you know, like giddy in my chair. Yeah, you guys are just awesome.
I appreciate it, but and it's one of them things too, where it's like you really have to think musically with a lot of things, because the right or wrong chord in that particular scene can evoke a different emotion. So you have to really have discernment of, okay, do I want to go minor? Do I want to go major? You know, and just really think about what these scenes really mean. Do I need the layer right here? Do I need to just keep this strings or just drums? So each little small detail can change a scene completely. You know, so it's like those things you have to kind of keep in mind.
you can hear it in the instrumentation, and that's actually what I talk about a little bit, because that was a very that scene sounded very epic. That actually sounded very cinematic to me, but you still had a layer in there of, I want to say there was like djembe or shekere or something like that was like in there layered. And throughout the entire show, there's a lot of traditional instruments, and I know how important that was to Roy. Can you walk us through some of the key instruments that we hear in Iyanu, like 7G? Can you tell us some of the instruments that we are hearing and seeing?
Sure. So I actually have them behind me. One of the main instruments that has been integral for Iyanu is the talking drum. So since this is Yoruba based, the talking drum is West African based, and it's used for a plethora of reasons, of course, for music, but also it's kind of a call. So you can do certain calls on the drum when you squeeze it and when you let it go.
So when you say call, it's like you're actually saying there's actually a language to it. Like the music, the drum itself has its own language?
Yes. So
awesome.
If I could give a small example.
Sure. Go for it. That's awesome. So you're actually changing the timbre with your arm. You're like, your whole body is playing this instrument.
Yes. It's a whole, it's really a whole ceremony when you play each kind of instrument. Now, I don't have the right kind of stick for this. Sorry for that. But
Femi's nodding like, yeah, man, you know what kind of stick you're supposed to be having.
Right.
He's like, we will talk later.
My apologies.
But you have another instrument. It looks like you have another instrument next to. I've been hearing these beads. This is a shekere, right?
This is a shekere. This is also West African based. This one particularly is made with cowrie shells. There are some other ones that are made with beads and stuff of that sort. So
let's hear it. Let's see what it sounds like.
Sure.
So the shekere can also be used as a percussion instrument. Does it like it has its own language as well?
I would say yes. Every instrument has its own language.
So for all of you, how important was it to have instruments like these in the show? And what is the link to the show itself?
I know Roy was very adamant about that in the beginning when we met. You know, it's from the top down. He wanted the authenticity. And so, you know, we was able to, we have this plethora of traditional African instruments here in the studio from in our area. But he was just very serious about, you know, figuring out a way to use these instruments. Even some of the sound effects were created by traditional African instruments, you know, and if it's something ruffling through the leaves or something, that might have been a shekere. I mean, we just kind of being, we like when we composing the music sometimes without even knowing, we're doing sound design naturally in a way, because it's like, you know, we're looking at a scene and sometimes Ola would say, you know, oh, when she moves like this, we should bring in this drum, you know, this doon hit this doon when she falls. And I'm like, okay, so we're trying to mic up this doon to give it this bottom.
Wait, for people who don't know, a doon is an instrument.
Yes.
I'm just making sure they're not calling me names, y'all. Doon is an actual instrument. Okay.
No, you know, listen, it's I call it. I don't know who else calls it, but I call it the African 808. You know, but it's the bottom drum. It's what. It's a bass heavy, yeah. So it's a lot of, and it has multiple personalities, multiple voices, and so using these instruments to try to just translate these scenes and from log drums. I mean, it just was incredible using them in these kind of ways. But yeah, Roy got incorporate. Of course, it's some, we hear our classic. I remember having that meeting as well, bringing our classic theme, cinematic sound that's in your traditional film, but then integrating it with African instrumentation. And on top of that, having our experience as producers and creating actual, like some of this music sounds like really dope beats, like, you know what I mean? It's like, and that's because our root and our foundation is in production and making beats. So it all came together.
Yeah, like it was, you had to find like an equal balance, right? An equal balance between traditional African music and modern music. Some sounds can't translate from one to another. So, for example, you have to use traditional sad strings to get sadness, and you use other instruments, but the ear of the human, because we're programmed that way, you have to sometimes, we have to use what we're used to convey certain emotions. And then for like fight scenes and drum, for fight scenes, we have to go crazy drum heavy. Big drums, heavy rhythms to make you feel like you're really feeling these emotions, because
the suspense, or the tension.
The tension is so it's just a good blend of knowing when to go traditional or when to use modern traditional instrumentation and then traditional African instrumentation. So it's just finding a balance and know when to dive in and when to pull back.
I might want to add one creative thing that Femi did for our sessions. He'll have some sort of reference, right? It won't be the full version of what you guys hear, but it might just be a drum, doom, doom, shh, doom, shh. He's like, all right, we have to make this sound bigger, right? So he'll have this simple drum beat, but then we'll come in and say, all right, we're adding all these different polyrhythms and multiple layers to just the idea, but he'll give us the pace and the heartbeat of what the scene should feel like, and then we kind of take it from there.
He was definitely a great head chef of organizing that.
That's what I was going to say. It sounds like a head chef and a sous chef. It's almost like he's giving you the inspiration. Like, this is the blue, this is a shade of blue, and this is a shade of red. Now y'all make this purple, but different. So, I'm sorry, visual.
And we also had some cooks as well. We had a lot of good session musicians to help make the vision possible for a lot of these cues and scores.
You know what? And that's actually a good cue. I know that we had another shot like behind the scenes of one of the drumming sessions, or some of the drummers getting, preparing to play stuff in the studio. And we had some talking drum, I think with the proper stick, that was animated in the series. So I'm going to throw it back to the tech team and see if we can cue that up so everybody can see that scene.
Let the Alarinjo deliver praise upon our departed king, Oba Adeni Meeleda, our almighty creator. Rest his soul. Our songs of memory and gratitude will carry him to the realm of the ancestors and bring relief to the people of Elu.
Yeah, that's the proper stick. So everybody, and again, I keep saying stick. What is the proper name for the mallet that hits the talking drum?
Different Yoruba names, but stick works.
Okay. I had it right the first time. It says stick.
Yeah. So that scene was so important. That scene was so important and so amazing to score. Growing up as a Nigerian, Roy and I are Nigerian. And so we always talk about these scenes and how to make it authentic. Like that particular scene, we've not seen that in animation anywhere, right? To actually have a funeral scene, or funeral for us Africans are just like a celebration of life, right? There's always music and festivities and people just having a good time, because in our culture we're saying, okay, that individual is transitioning right to our ancestors, right? Especially since Iyanu is set in ancient Yorubaland. So we definitely wanted to depict that.
And I don't think I've ever seen like the funeral procession and they're like mourners. It's almost, professional mourners.
And we have like masquerades, they're called. Yeah.
I was like, I don't think I've ever seen a goon animated. This is new. We're learning stuff.
Look at you saying it. Okay, I see.
I read things. So I'm just curious, is there a favorite scene that each of you can think of that you scored? And if it's from season 2, you can't say who's in it because they don't know about that yet.
Right.
I know you earlier. Go ahead, December. You go ahead.
No, I think for me, I don't have necessarily a favorite scene. I feel like each for many reasons. Just because when it all comes together, it just brings you closer to the characters, to the story, to the message that it is just conveying. So I feel like all of them are equal, because they all just hold a special place in, my heart and my soul, because it's something that we can relate and attach to across all walks of life. So it's no favorite to me.
Yeah, I want to say when we bring in B and the relationship he has with Iyanu is hilarious at times. So the comedy and also sometimes the tension, because they get themselves in some trouble, right?
But, wait, family channel, yes, trouble.
You saw that?
Self-edit.
They get themselves in some trouble. But then there's always this humorous edge to it, and I think it just gives it the balance. And depending on where you're at in life, you could be 7, 10, 20, 40, 50. I mean, the intergenerational humor that's involved in this, everybody's going to think it's funny. So it's like those scenes are some of my favorite scenes to score, because I think it's the challenge of trying to convey tension, but yet occasional humor within the tension. So all of those, it's not a particular scene, but I'm just kind of giving you a theme between that. And of course, when we show Iyanu at different ages, I love those as well.
Absolutely. How about you, 7G?
There's a few scenes that I really like.
Don't pick on me yet.
I know, don't pick on me because since we were part of the whole, the whole production process, it's just every scene is your favorite scene. But to try to consolidate, I would say my favorite scene would be the first fight that Iyanu got into. When I think it was episode 2 with Mama Shewa.
Oh, right. When she went to the Riverlands. She goes to the Riverlands and Mama Shewa was trying to make her prove that she's,
I think that's episode 3.
I think it's episode 3.
Yeah.
I like that. And also I wanted to add the theme that I really like is Awakens.
Yeah.
Menacing.
It's
Cool,
menacing.
man.
Shout out to Ekun. He's a real one.
We got a
He's
real
been holding
Ekun
it down.
fan. Do we have other Ekun fans in the chat? Let us know. And also, what is great about that, and Femi talked about this earlier, is those themes. Every character, just so everybody knows, every character in this show has a theme. So if you've watched it from the beginning and you listen, the first time you see that character, that is their theme. And then if you hear it later, again, layered on just something else, that musical track will go with them.
Yeah, each character has different versions of the theme. So you might have a sad theme, a happy theme, I'm running away from home theme. It could be a theme for everything, but it all has similar bases, but different variations of that original base.
And that definitely helps with the scenes because it's not just the characters, right? The places. Elu is a character. Riverlands is a character. So they have themes. We have themes for Olori and Iyanu, where, you know, if they're having a conversation, we have specific themes for those scenarios as well. So that's always fun.
Awesome. Did you have a favorite, Femi?
It's like saying who's your favorite child. It's so hard. Okay.
Roy just said that in the last film when we talked about the comics.
Okay.
People of the Deep. What you did with People of the Deep.
Oh yeah. If I had, okay, we can definitely go with that one. If I remember earlier on, even before any episodes were crafted, Roy and I having conversations about the musical direction of Iyanu and how we wanted to showcase Afrobeats, but then Roy would always tell me, oh, the People of the Deep, they need to have something else. They need to have this kind of menacing swagger. And then he said, hey, why don't you try to do something like with Amapiano? For those who don't know, Amapiano is kind of like a South African musical genre, right? Where it's like almost deep house and like heavy synths, but you hear these shakers that just make you like groove. So it's like, hey, why don't you do something with Amapiano for the People of the Deep? And so that was kind of my inspiration for that. Okay, how do you do something that has that Amapiano like drive, but sounds menacing at the same time? So yeah, I would pick that one.
And that's like the first time we see them too. I think we may have that clip. I'm gonna ask my trusty tech team again. This is live, y'all.
We have come for the chosen. Surrender her now or everything burns. You have exactly 5 seconds. Warriors of the Deep, my name is Kanfu, General of the Eshor, protectors of the great city of... Father! Doye! Time's up. Attack!
But yeah, no, I love how that sounds, and I love that build up, and that's also an example of what December was saying. How when it gets tense, you got to hit them drums.
Tension and release. Tension and release.
Exactly. So I have one more question for you, and this is a tough one. So, what do you hope audiences feel when they hear the music of Iyanu? Like, what in general, if you're going to say like the music in Iyanu, the series is going to make you feel this, how would you finish that sentence?
I would
say. I'm going to start with Kariz. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I would say triumphant. You know, I would say it would make you feel powerful. I would say that. You know, it'll make you feel connected to the diaspora and in a way that a lot of, I guess, mainstream music, you know, we don't always speak to. Of course, we do have Afrobeat today, you know, but this is this is a more introspective, deep expression of that genre. So I would say that, you know, it just definitely, it should make you feel more powerful at the end of the day because of, and with these themes as well, with the themes and how they translate, you can pick which character you connect with the most. At least with me, based on the themes, I loved waking up on Saturday mornings with my 9-year-old and him connecting with these characters and saying, you know what, oh, I'm Ikun or I'm B, or, you know, he can connect with these based on how the music makes them feel, and then of course the character. So, you know, I just hope it makes people feel powerful and hopeful and proud about what we're doing and globally with this project.
Hard to follow, but December, how do you think? What do you want audiences to feel?
I want audiences to feel like they heard something new and refreshing and keep on pushing the narrative of these type of animated series and telling their friends and getting inspired to possibly do the same things that we're doing now. It's all about giving, inspiring a younger generation, after us to keep on pushing the narrative forward. The things that, we all did in Iyanu hasn't necessarily been done on this scale. And it's something refreshing, euphoric. And that's what I want them to do. Take this as the blueprint, keep pushing it forward, explore new instruments, incorporate these instruments into your own work of art. And that's what I think they should be on the lookout for, and just to continue to be inspired.
7G.
Well, I want them to feel wonder. I want them to feel wonderful. Wonder. Absolutely.
Femi?
For me, like, what's that line? Like, everyone should have their own theme music. We want you to feel like empowered. We want you to feel emboldened. And the overarching theme of the entire series is light always overcomes darkness. So for anybody watching the show and listening to that would be my hope, that, some people are going through some tough times. There are people out there, little kids sometimes who doubt themselves or, are scared, sometimes don't feel as courageous. Light always conquers darkness, and there's a hero inside of you. So
tech team, clip that. We're gonna use that one. So we have some questions from the chat. Let's see. Hang on a second. This is a long name. Let's see. Trey Sims 3237. How did you build the foundation for music you did in season 1? No spoilers, of course. Well, season 1 dropped on April 5th. Y'all have had time to watch this, so you can spoil it. Now. You can spoil it. You can't spoil season 2. But how did you build on the foundation you did in season 1? So I guess he's saying in season 2, how did you build? So like going into season 2, how did you build on the foundation of music that you started with in season 1? So yeah, no spoilers for the scenes, but did you carry over those themes? Like we've seen some of the footage of Iyanu from season 2 already, and she is a little older, but it's still the same Iyanu theme, right?
Let me tell you, you guys are not ready.
Season
2.
Hey.
I mean, fellas, am I making this up? Like, I'm telling you are not ready. Season 2, season 1 was great. Season 1 was great.
Honeymoon.
Season 2,
that's the honeymoon phase. It was early in the game.
Season 1, right? We spent time building. The foundation is the right word for all these characters, right? So by now you should know Team Chosen's theme, Iyanu's theme, all the themes and the characters. So now you're familiar with these characters. So now we get to build upon these themes and introduce additional genres.
You know what? That's a very good point, because there is one clip that is already out. Like about in October, we released the clip of season 2 of when Iyanu sees Jaja and they fight, and it. Of course, she's fighting, the way of the golden leaf, the way of the fire ant, but they're both based in capoeira. And I don't know what that's called. Is it a bao? The Baron Yeah, sorry, anybody. I don't know all the terms, but the Baron I felt like that was layered in there. Am I right?
Yes, it was. And I think Kariz has mentioned this as well. Like, as composers, all of us did this. Like, we love sound design as well. So you can take that same berimbau and play it in a traditional way, but then sample it and then use it to create a pad or create swells. And so we got to take the traditional instruments and the genres, but then put a whole different spin on it. I mean, you're hearing 808s, you're hearing synths. I'm telling you, I can't wait for the season 2. I'm telling you.
I think season 2, like, you know, you heard us as composers as in season 1, right? But in season 2, you hear us as composers and actual music genre producers fused together. So you get to see us do the things that we might do on a record for Afrobeat artists or hip hop or R&B artists, those same techniques, but we fused it with composing scenes now. So it's a good mesh. Like,
we're gonna have to get the soundtrack. A soundtrack is necessary.
Soundtrack.
If y'all want an Iyanu soundtrack, put soundtrack in the chat there. Everybody write soundtrack if you want to hear a soundtrack. We have another question from Chalua. What do the lyrics translate to for the throne room scene in the Age of Wonders? I love that. When Joba calls for Dara and Ishe, that's a question we have all been asked. I mean, our Nigerian friends are like, we know what it is, but nobody's sharing. So what are they singing when they enter that throne room? That's the clip we played at the top of this panel, guys.
Yeah, I mean, to summarize, it's essentially saying that the time of wonder has come, that, you know, the creator has made it so, and so shall it be. You know, that's the summary of what they were saying in that scene. Basically ushering in the time of wonder.
Got it. Okay. And we have one more question. I think it's going to have to be our last one, so we ain't late for the next panel. This is a question for everyone from Draco Don Stars 8245. Y'all got some screen names. Okay. What was the best part of making music for season 2? I actually think they answered that. I
can say spin off Femi when he told us, look, you guys do you.
Don't you love it when you can do that though? Don't you love that?
It was like go crazy. And you know, one of our main session musicians, Kim, we as a collective, we all kind of was like, all right, you know, who's willing to take the most chances? And Ola ended up taking some really daring chances for season 2 that really brought out, I want to say in one scene it's a montage. It's kind of like it's a melting pot of maybe 4 genres.
Yeah, I was gonna say, hang on, don't spoil it.
I said it one say. That's why I was trying to figure out the words. Right. We have one scene where there's montage of 4 genres in like a 30-second thing, and that's what it is. It's like, you know, we're bringing in all of these different, you know, genres into season 2, and I just. Shouts out to all the musicians that we was able to work with more on season 2 that we might not have on season 1, because it was just a bigger sound. Like we went bigger more. It was, yeah.
That's awesome. Well, we're gonna have to wrap there. By the way, I want y'all to know that the whole chat is full with soundtrack. Somebody said I want a vinyl. That okay?
Vinyl made a comeback.
Can you imagine a blue vinyl with Akun spots? That would be fire. Look at 07G's having a moment.
I am. Oh my God. You just planted that in my mind.
Oh,
Make it so.
So thank you all so much.
Soundtrack so we can get a Grammy.
There you go. There you go. Thank you all so much. I really, really appreciate y'all showing up and doing this live with us and having this discussion, because the music for Iyanu is so important. And everybody in the chat, thank you so much. Don't go anywhere, guys. See you soon.